Obvious that we all like films, right? It's a debatable, but let's just say we all like films.
Okay, yeah.
Is there an art form besides film that speaks to you heavily more than some, like paintings,
yes,
writing, and if so, like what is your guys' alternative favorite art form?
Ryan and I have the same one for sure, I bet.
Music?
No, never mind. I mean,
Whoa.
I love music. I was gonna say video games.
No, you don't.
I don't. You're right, actually. I fucking hate music, dude.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say video games.
Dude, that's a good one.
That's an art form, you know?
That is an art form.
That is.
It's an art form. I would say animation, but animation's film. I would count that still. But yeah.
Yeah,
I guess it's in the same realm.
Mm-hmm. I like making terrible Microsoft Paint drawings, like
that
really bad ones of my art.
I think I'll have to go with. I might have to go with paintings, and there's not really any painters specifically that I am drawn to. I think I'm just able to. I like the fact that the meaning or story behind a painting, or what the artist had intended, can like almost always be up into interpretation.
Yeah.
The thing with like movies that I was thinking about today is like rarely you're gonna find a movie that fits every criteria that you want, or is gonna like hit every single beat that just like is just money for you. But I find like paintings can be abstract enough, but also hold so much meaning, and so like it makes it all the more fulfilling to me. It was just something I was thinking about today. I kind of want to get your guys' answers to that, what you guys had. So
Totally. Yeah. Like, Lindsay and me went to, I don't remember, it was in Seattle, but we went to the Flesh and Blood art exhibit, and that was really good. There were some, like, old paintings in, like, Renaissance colors that were just... I just stood there. I couldn't even say anything. I just stood there staring at them, and I'm like, this just makes me feel so many different things.
Yeah.
Dude, I would love to get into painting, though. Like, I remember, I think me and Victor tried painting the one time with, like, we found, like, tiny canvases. I keep buying those, too, and then not doing anything with them.
Yeah, me too.
But mine, I don't know where it is. I think it's up on my shelf somewhere, but I did a tropical island.
I did this recently.
I made it.
It's just like a blending. Oh, it's not even gonna come up on there.
That is not reading.
No.
Darn you, bit rate.
Yeah, that's not.
Oh, there we go.
Colors are not gonna be accurate at all. But it's like a blending of like red and cream. Kind of looks like flesh and blood, like you were just saying. I did this over the
or
weekend.
like
cool.
strawberries and ice cream.
Yes.
See,
yes,
right
sir.
up again, right up to the viewer's interpretation of it.
Exactly.
Fact.
But yeah, like same with music too, in a way. I mean, that's also kind of like. Is that gonna flash? No. Okay, we're good. But music too. That can also be hit or miss, but there's a couple like there's a specific track by Aphex Twin. He has a couple ambient tracks that, like, the first time listening to them, I was transported to like my adolescence during the summer.
Oh man.
And it was just like, it was just an incredible like experience, and I don't know why I don't know what about it made me think of those thoughts and like transporting back to that time, but like I was just like super appreciative of how art can just like what it can do to your brain, what it can do to your brain's chemicals. It's absolutely fascinating. So
yeah,
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I love music. Music does it for me for sure. If it's not like film, I think, like, I do love video games, but I think the next art form in terms of like what impacts me is probably music.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I thought it was more of a general question, like, what other artworks do you like? I'm like, well, I like
Oh,
video
sorry.
games.
I should have been more specific.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I give a really generic ass answer. I'm like, oh, I like video games. I wish I could say like reading or books, but I don't fucking read. I like wish I read. I wish I did. I really did. I really wish I would read, but my ADHD is too bad, man. I can't keep my focus. So it's like I'll get a new book and I'm like, oh, this is great. I'll read like 10 pages and be like, cool, I'm never going to read that again.
That was a great book.
Yeah.
And I do it and I spend money on it too. And it's like, I'm just wasting money to not read a book.
Yeah.
But
I am still trying to get through Dante's Inferno. I've been trying to get through that for years, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I made it like, I think. Yeah, like, I made it like almost halfway. It's just that old world dialect. Reading that in my head, I'm just like, thou art, and I'm just like, my attention span is just plummets when I'm reading that kind of language.
It's hard when you have to like decipher something as well. So it's like not only you're just reading, because if you were just reading, it would be one thing, but now you're also having to be like, what does this word mean that would also mean a different word? You know, it's like what what would this word mean in today's time? And it's like,
that's what I do, and then I'm like,
you're like,
Although I will say, dude, talking about put it up for your own interpretation, Dante's Inferno, if you can find a way to struggle to read through that, the metaphors and symbolism of characters going through like the levels of hell or whatever is just like, you can just transport yourself into it and be like, oh, that's my difficult situation in this case. And it's, I love doing that with, I think that's why I like Lord of the Rings so much, because I can really like, oh, metaphorically, like they're going on a tough adventure and fighting the bad guy. It could like represent anxiety and like struggles. Yeah. And I'm like,
again, up for interpretation shit. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I love that. I love that. I'm trying to do more art, like you guys are saying, more painting and stuff like that. My girlfriend does a lot. And it's great, and I love it. But I want to be able to do my own as well. And I'm not talented with like a paintbrush, but I'm pretty good with Photoshop and with Microsoft Paint. I mean, you can't be good with Microsoft Paint, but you know,
well,
there's a certain jank to it that I love.
Yeah,
that it just has this ugly fucking. It just looks demented, and I love it. And everything I've made in Microsoft Paint, I've been like, yeah, this is my best one yet. It's fucking, I love it. I love it.
Hey man, it counts for something, even if it's digital art like that. Like that still takes talent.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate it. I think, you know, when you see this,
like it genuinely does.
When you see this picture that I drew, the Genesis painting, you'll be like, this kid's got talent.
You going places with Microsoft Word.
Yeah, I am.
Well, cool. Right on.
Cool.
So, yes, this is Reviews from the West. I am Victor. Oh, boy.
The standoff. I don't know what part of the camera you're at, but for me, you're over here. There we go. That looks right for me, at least.
I'm just shooting Victor. I am Chase.
And I'm Ryan.
All right, and like I said, we're Reviews from the West. We review movies. We don't got a niche. We just do the do. And you either appreciate it or you don't. Get the hell out. It's up to you.
My niche is nunchucks.
We're gonna get in a bit of nunchucks later.
I took a note about that scene, dude.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
If it's your first time listening, it's a bi-weekly podcast where we talk movies, double features. Each episode is one of our picks. This week it was my pick.
Woo!
My picks. Vic's picks.
Vic's picks.
I had chosen
Vic's Dick's picks.
Yes, sir. Films I had chosen for this week are 1994's Clifford, starring Martin Short.
Oh, what a fucking work of art.
Uh, and then also the other film being Deadbeat at Dawn from 1988, directed by Jim Van Bebber, who also stars the lead role.
And wrote it.
That would make sense of why he's terrible. That makes okay. Now
don't
it's
stop at
me.
him, dude.
Yeah.
There's gets worse than that.
Yeah. I didn't like. Usually, when I pick two films, I at least try to make them connect thematically, or pick two films that I feel like will work well together.
Yeah.
This time, though, I was like, I'm just gonna throw that out. I'm gonna stop it for this episode and just give two oddball picks and mixed results, possibly. From what I've been gathering from you guys, it's been mixed results, but
Yeah, speaking of oddball choices, so what directed you to both of these choices?
So basically I've been wanting to see Deadbeat at Dawn for a while now, and Clifford, just from like other people's reviews, I was like, well, this sounds pretty hectic, and I don't know why I decided to pair them, but I think they were just two somewhat recent films that I wanted to see, and I didn't really want to spend too much time deciding something, so I was like, you know, they seem both kind of chaotic in their own way, from what I read, but
yeah.
So
no logical
regarding regarding your quote, I've wanted to see Deadbeat by Dawn for a while now. Why?
There is a podcast that I listen to. They're called Sleazoids, and they cover like exploitation, like genre films.
Got you.
Plus, I just
cool.
kind of dig like low budget, like gory films. So
Yeah.
want to give it a shot. Plus, it's got a kind of a kick-ass title. So
It is kind of
Which one
a dope ass title. Yeah.
So that's my answer.
Ryan, which one did you just finished one, right?
Yeah, I finished Clifford last.
Okay.
Cool.
Well,
You guys want to dive into Clifford?
Yeah, let's do Clifford. I finished Deadbeat by Dawn earlier today, so but if you're finished Clifford, you said let's do it.
All right. Well, I'll read the synopsis to you guys. Just as with one IMDb.
Okay.
A bratty 10-year-old boy is obsessed with visiting a dinosaur-themed amusement park. His uptight uncle takes the wily tyke in for a week and barely lives to regret it.
So, like, natural story, right?
Yeah.
Fine, like, believable.
Yeah,
then
absolutely.
the kid is Martin Short.
And then it's a grown ass man as a 10-year-old boy.
Dude, so right off the bat, I just have to say it. Watching him, like, be coddled by that flight attendant at the start of the movie, that smirky, snarky little grin he gives. This movie knows exactly what it's doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. His facial, the faces he makes are just the most punchable.
Oh man.
I think it's safe to say that Clifford himself is just the most punchable kid on film. Good Lord.
If I had the opportunity to beat any 10-year-old's ass from a movie, it would either be it would be Clifford or 10-year-old fucking Dudley Dursley.
Okay, that's fair.
One of those ones.
Fair.
Probably Clifford though, because he looks enough like a man that I wouldn't feel as bad.
Oh geez, what did you guys think about Clifford? What were your thoughts, guys? You loved it, right?
Right out the gates. I thought I was going to. I was like, okay, it says slapstick. I'm a sucker for slapstick. Get me a man getting smacked in the face with a frying pan, I'm gonna laugh. And the start of the movie, it opens and he's like a priest, and he's an adult now.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Fucking
fascinating.
weird priest, too.
Years like 2050.
He goes to like tell some kids, like, oh, Scamp, come here, if you want to do this properly, you do it like this. And he's like very friendly and informative. He's like, well, have a nice day, young man. He turns to walk away, and they just miss him, and a bunch of tomatoes slam into the tree he walked behind. And I was like, dude, this is some like airplane vibes.
Absolutely.
I was so excited. And then it goes to the child scenes, and I was like,
We can't move on from that early scene without him getting fucking hit by shit coming out the window and the kid falling, like the dummy of the kid falling onto him. Dude. And it was actually Martin Short doing that too. You can tell from like it wasn't like a body double or anything. It was him like getting fucking hit with shit. And, like,
watching him just like take the hit, and it's like, that was really funny. Happens again.
Like 2 more times.
It was like a suitcase, like a basketball, and then the kid falls out the end.
Yeah, and then
too good.
And then the kid happens to be the fucking kid from Boy Meets World. I was like, what?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I was like, what is going on? Corey Matthews. What the fuck?
What, is he like trying to run away or something?
Yeah, he's running away because all the other kids are mean to him, or because he's a little shit. So,
right.
Yeah. So the priest is like, I'll fake a heart attack and get him back over here.
He's like, I got you.
This movie is just like nonstop for the first few minutes. Yeah. It's so well written at the beginning moments.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then it takes place in the airport, right, or in the airplane.
Yeah,
and he's with his father
with Richard
and mother.
Kind, his dad, Richard Kind.
Yeah,
I like him in everything I've seen him in.
This is gonna be a dumb question. That's I was thinking that he looks a lot like Dr. Octopus from Spider-Man 2, but that's a different actor. Right? That's Alfred Molina.
Alfred Molina, yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay, I was like, God, he looks familiar.
So can you imagine?
This movie's so ridiculous.
Oh,
so this is the start of the movie. There's the airplane. Is there anything you guys want to like cover in the airplane or talk about, or?
Well, the first like act of terrorism by Clifford is trying to nosedive the plane to like the ground.
He wants an emergency landing so they can land in LA to get to his theme park he wants
to get the dinosaur world, dude.
Which he describes as a place that like only a boy like him could be happy.
Yeah.
Is the dinosaur theme park.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh well, son, the only way this plane's gonna land if it's an emergency." And he looks at the camera. He's like, "Okay." That stupid fucking look on his face, too.
Dude, Martin Short's face. I'm never gonna be able to see it the same again.
No,
his expressions are just something else.
Dude, speaking of expressions, just to stay on topic. The scene where the like is his uncle, that's his uncle, right?
Yeah.
Martin.
The scene where his uncle is like, "Will you look at me like a person? Like, will you look at me like your kid?"
Like he's just like a human boy.
Josie and I were laughing so fucking hard at that. He's like going cross-eyed and shit. He's like, "You're doing it. You're doing it. If you even look at me weird, look at me like a human boy."
It was so goofy.
Dude, I gotta say, Charles Grodin.
Oh my god!
One of my favorite performances I've seen lately. Like, oh my god,
killed it.
He plays losing it just so well. He's just 1 second away from snapping. He's like plays his call. Oh, it's just perfect. It's so good.
Yeah. His over-the-top anger where he's just like when he goes to that place, "What do you mean you're out of chocolate?" And he's freaking out.
So I think I got an Easter bunny in the fridge somewhere. Get me that bunny.
Get me the bunny. Dude, okay, that scene where the kid, wants to go to Dinosaur World, and a car next to him as he's waiting in the car for the chocolate, he's like, "Who's ready to go to Dino Land?" or whatever it is.
And then he looks at the camera and he's like, And the son in that car is like, "I need to go to the bathroom." He's dressed up like a dinosaur. It's like, well, here comes the kidnapping plot and all of this junk that we've seen a million times. No, they don't do that. He pays off the kid in the bathroom to change clothes with him, and the dad or the uncle finds him before they leave, and this woman comes over and starts beating him in classic slapstick comedy. And he's like, "Oh yeah, kid's counting his money in the bathroom," and she's like, "You pervert!" But the part that got me there, there's a cut. The editing absolutely killed me. The mom smacks him, and then terrible direction, terrible acting. There's this long pause, and she's like, "Well,
"Where's my son?"
And then he goes,
and then it sits, and then it jumps to this portly little boy in the parking lot, and he's like, "I'm over here, Mom." And then it cuts back. That was, I think, the funniest thing I saw in the whole movie.
Oh,
that was hilarious.
That was a great cut.
Yeah, him and just like this
super tight suit. Yeah. Oh, man.
I just want to know how much he paid him off, because it looks like in the bathroom he has just like a stack of bills. I'm like, where the hell did he even get all that money?
I paid close attention. It was like all once.
I was thinking it was like $6 or something like that. I'll give you $6 for your dinosaur costume. Kid's like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Let's see. I think he soon after he gets introduced to Sarah, which is Martin's girlfriend.
And I think that's Ted Danson's ex-wife, I think.
Oh, is it?
Ex-wife, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's a little creep towards her. What does he do? He goes into the shower where she is and like
puts his dinosaur in the fucking
Stefan.
Yeah, he doesn't go in there. The dinosaur did it.
Right.
His filthy
it's the dinosaur's
eyes.
fault.
Yeah, the fucking dirty ass dino.
Yeah, he becomes like infatuated with Sarah, and it's just like, I want to marry her, and he's like, he wants to like steal Martin's ring that he plans on giving it to her, and
dude, that scene, he's like, well,
so.
He's like, well, since I'm a 10-year-old boy that didn't get what he wanted, wouldn't you want to do anything that you know, that you would be able to make sure that I did this and that, and you'd want to make it up? And he's like, yeah, whatever, kid. Give me the fucking ring back.
Yeah, basically, doesn't Martin like promise to take him to Dinosaur Land, and he keeps like he keeps making like vague threats that like, well, if you don't keep your promise, you wouldn't want me to be angry, and you don't want to know what would have happened if I was angry. Like,
yeah, and it's like, well, I'm not responsible for my actions if I don't go to Dino World.
What is he, possessed or something? Yeah. Like,
will say unfortunately, but I do like the present day segments more than the kid segments. I think for me they were funnier. I don't know why, they just hit different for me. Yeah, I just for some reason all the jokes in those were landing all the time. Like the kid's like, "That was a cool story, mister. Bye," and he like gets lassoed back over.
Yeah, what the fuck?
That was great.
I noticed it too. I'm like, dude, what the hell? Fucking lasso.
And just watching them, like, that's the kind of comedy that just like, I love that comedy. Like, he ties them up, brings them back, and then like throws the lasso in the corner, and then they ignore it and continue on like it never happened. I love that. It's so funny.
God, there's the scene where Clifford creates a fake bomb threat out of Martin's answering machine and like a recording.
I had to pause the movie. I was laughing so hard.
I know, dude.
I had to go back, and he's using the answering machine and the recording that he got earlier from their little argument. He's like, "My name is Martin Daniels, and I have a bomb." It's like hard cut to the next scene. Oh my god, dude. Oh Jesus, I was laughing so hard.
Yeah, see, this movie got me a good few times, dude.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm glad it was able to throw in some like extreme stuff like that, because if it was just like a normal kid, they probably wouldn't have done something like that, you know. But the fact that it's a 40-year-old man playing a 10-year-old kid, they're like, well, we could just, we
can just make him have a bomb.
Blackmail his uncle into like being a terrorist.
I like at the
and then watching.
Go ahead.
Watching him be tied up in a bedroom, and he's like, "I tried to run away. Thank God you're home. I was getting on the train. Someone touched my no-no spot, and then I came back. Some bikers told me a bunch of stories, and I was like, my God,
this fucking kid." There's the scene towards the end of the film, where Uncle Martin has to make the decision of whether to let Clifford die, or to save him. Because of a malfunction, they end up at Dino World, and Uncle Martin is like,
which is impressive, by the way.
Yes,
that
set was great,
nice
and it was actually miniatures too. Did you notice that at all?
Yeah, when it did the
loop de loop. Yeah, it was miniatures, which I thought was pretty sweet. But they get to Dino World, and Uncle Martin's like, all right, you want to go to Dino World so bad? I wonder how you're going to like this ride after 10 hours. And he's like, oh, I think I'm going to like it even more. And he's like, well, let's see how you like it after 100. Like, he's going around on this, and he speeds it up all the way, and then the fucking everything starts malfunctioning and like blowing up and everything. And eventually, Clifford is dangling from like the teeth of one T-Rex and like down to like this bottomless pit. And he's like, Uncle Martin, please help me. And he's like, maybe I should do the world a favor. And he's like, essentially just like, maybe I should just let you die right now. And maybe I should do the whole world a favor. He's like, God forbid, what if you get your hands on plutonium? And he's like, oh, this is just the bestest nuclear bomb I've ever seen. And he's like, oh man, dude, Charles Grodin, dude, he killed this. Oh my god.
Yeah, most of my favorite moments were his lines.
Absolutely.
He's losing it. It's so good.
During the movie, I'm like, Jesus, this is terrible. And it was like the terrible where I'm like, oh man, I can't believe they're doing this. And then at the end of it, I like finished it. I'm like, I think I kind of liked it. I was like, I think I was into it. That was so much. And Josie and I were just sitting there, and we're just like, she's like, I don't even know how to process that. Like,
right.
I have no clue. Exactly. Is it okay for me to like this movie?
What's like the audience for this?
Exactly.
Like,
dude, slapstick is so rare. Finding any movie that does slapstick, like, that's not a thing, dude. Like, I really did appreciate this movie. Like, regardless of what it is, if I find this on Blu-ray or if I find this at like
Absolutely.
a Goodwill or a dollar store, I'm
going to as well. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that makes me happy.
It was so much fun.
This was fun.
Would you say not Martin Short, the uncle? Would you say that his performance, it's out there?
Okay.
Would you say that it's more funny or more like, that is such a terrible delivery that's hilarious because it's so outlandish?
I don't think his deliveries are terrible.
I don't think so either, yeah.
Like, they're actually like pretty,
I think
like his delivery's great.
I think it has to be terrible, or not terrible, but it has to be the over the top because of how fucking over the top Martin Short is being. He's being this is insane, and I'm so glad that movies like this don't get made anymore, because we'd have someone like Kevin Hart playing like you know, a kid, and then it would be terrible. And I love Kevin Hart, and I don't want Kevin Hart to be a kid. And like the closest thing we got to this was Little Man. I don't know, or not Little Man. What was it? It was the Wayans brothers movie. Big Man, Little.
I can't think of what it is.
I think it's Little Man. Yeah, and so one of the Wayans brothers plays a little person, a person with dwarfism, and essentially they steal a diamond. And it ends up in this lady's purse, and they follow her around, and they're about to have a baby, or they're trying to have a baby, and then he dresses up as a toddler and is left at his doorstep by Tracy Morgan. And then they adopt it, and meanwhile, like, it gets to a point where it's like he like has sex with the dude's wife. Like, it is terrible. It is a terrible movie. But that's the closest thing I can think of. But wow, I'm so glad they don't do this anymore, or they don't even try.
I think we need like once a decade. We need a movie like this.
What if they have him do it again? What if Martin Short comes back and does it again? Remakes it.
Even older.
Yeah. Even older, and then this generation doesn't know who the fuck he is, so they're gonna be like, "Who is this old ass dude?" Which is gonna be even better. All the kids that the kids of this generation are gonna be like, who?
Hop on Netflix. They're like, oh, it's a kids movie. Who's grandpa? Like,
they'll just CGI him.
Yeah, exactly. He'll be a full CG character.
Like, it couldn't get any more unnerving as it is.
And they make it really good where it's like Uncanny Valley aspect of it.
Oh,
it's just even creepier. And every once in a while, they like distort his smile, like just a little bit. So it's,
dude,
I'd pay good money to see that.
I would.
That would be funny.
There's like some threads going around recently about what like shows and movies with dated or offensive jokes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, of course, this movie has one trans.
Dude, I noticed that too.
joke.
I was like, I didn't even laugh at it, because it's normal now.
Yeah.
It's be like, I'm like, okay, it's two trans women.
I was just like,
I was like,
right.
of course. She's like, I would know something that's something like unnatural.
Spot a phony from a mile away.
I could spot a phony from a mile away, and these two trans women walk up, and they're like, "Hey, do you know how to get to this, that?" And then she's like, "Yeah, down the street." And she's like, they're like, "Okay, thank you." And it's like obvious that's supposed to be a joke, but it's like not even funny.
It's just wild, like how so many of these comedies from this era just have so many jokes like that.
It's crazy,
right? Like, why was that the butt of like every joke between like the 80s and late?
Yeah,
90s?
why was it?
We were talking about this with Little
everywhere.
Nicky too.
Yeah, exactly. Why was it so funny? Why was it not funny, but like, why was it so funny?
Why was it the go-to for comedy writing?
Exactly.
They're like, oh, butt of a joke? I know what to put there.
It's fucking lazy. Is
get
what
the
it
Confederate flag pen down
Yeah,
and
exactly.
try something else.
Exactly.
What the heck?
If you're gonna do it, at least make it funny. I guess.
Yeah, I guess if you're gonna try it, at least try to make it funny. Yeah. Or at least make it so over the top that it's like obviously you're making jokes about the fact that this is a joke. You know what I mean?
Like like satire or
yeah,
something.
Exactly.
Shoot. I mean, do you guys have anything else to say about this one?
I don't.
The last bit of the movie when he's finishing his story to the kid back in present time as a priest, and he's like, his girlfriend called me, a very good call, and I'm like, did they get together?
I was thinking the same thing. I was like,
Yeah, because in the first
and
shot
then
after
it
that
shows
is a wedding ring.
Yeah, and I'm like, there's no way he got married. She's gonna be like 180.
Yeah.
And then the camera pulls out, and I'm like, ring bearer.
Nice.
Genius misdirection. Well done,
Nice.
Clifford.
Nice.
Well done.
I don't think that. So this has a 13% on Rotten Tomatoes. Do you think that is accurate? Do you think that's too low, or do you think that's too high?
The problem with these comedies, man, it's just like, what do you rate it? Like, what can you, like, how do you rate it?
Yeah.
Because it's obviously supposed to be pretty stupid. Is it bad? Is it good? I don't think you can put like an objective. I don't know. It feels hard to have like an objective stance on a movie like this. Like with like Little Nicky, it's like purely based on enjoyment.
Exactly.
Here's the thing. It's a 13% from critics. It's a 67 from average moviegoer.
Okay. I would say that's probably closer. 67 is pretty damn close to 70, and that's too high, in my opinion. So, but I mean, 67, I'll take that. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. Like, it's literally just existing. Like, here is funny things that we made. That's all it is. It's not offering anything other than a joke. It's like, it's essentially going to a stand-up bit. That's all you're doing. You're just going to laugh. And that's what this movie is. And I think, like, it delivered on that. So, like...
Yeah.
Is it technically good? Is it, like, not good in the terms of, like, this is a bad movie, but, like, is this technically a 4 out of 5?
Yeah, is this successful?
Like, it did what it set out to do, man.
Exactly.
Like, is this a perfect movie?
Yeah. That's kind of how I feel with, You Don't Mess with the Zohan.
Oh, I still haven't seen that.
Oh, man. So, if you haven't seen that, and if it's my pick next week, I will be choosing that. It is such a... It's so... I don't know why I'm choosing Adam Sandler movies now. I haven't seen them since I was a kid, and I want to watch them and just see how terrible they are. But, You Don't Mess with the Zohan is fucking god-awful, dude. It's so bad. Like, there's nothing around it. Like... I'm thinking that the offensive jokes that I thought were funny back in the day were funny to me because I didn't understand them, and I just knew, all I knew was that this is bad. this is not a funny thing to laugh at, so I'm gonna laugh at it anyway. You know, as a 12-year-old. So it's like watching Family Guy.
Oh, that's edgy. That's
yeah,
funny.
It's like watching Family Guy as a 12-year-old. You don't know what the jokes are, but
yes.
you know that it means something. So you know
exactly.
But
does he have an accent in this one?
Oh yeah.
Fuck.
He plays.
It's a thick accent.
Do you know?
I guess with a name like Zohan.
Do you know the premise behind it?
I know he's like a barber.
All right, cool. I'll leave it at that. I want I want you to go into it fucking
movie.
completely blind. I don't want you to look anything up for this. Oh my god, I'm excited.
Just Adam Sandler barber movie.
Barber movie.
That's the mindset.
That's it. Barbershop, but with Adam Sandler. There you go.
Could you pair it with The Love Guru?
The Love Guru? I actually have.
No.
I'm not doing that.
Don't. I don't want to do both of those.
Poor Mike Myers, dude. Ruined his fucking career with that. He made that movie. Made that movie. He's like, yeah, it should probably be done. I do love me some Austin Powers though. Austin Powers and Goldmember. That shit's dope. That's a good movie. All right, you guys want to get into your fucking ratings somehow of this movie?
I think so. Yeah.
All right,
Victor.
Yes.
What do you give this?
You know, I might have to go with.
Don't.
I might have to go with a 3.
Uh-huh.
I'm just gonna go down in the middle. I'm just gonna go down in the middle for this one. Maybe 3.5. We'll play around with it.
We'll play around a little
bit. There's not like. I think it's really just like. Obviously, the 2 lead performances are just outrageous. Every time Charles Grodin was freaking out and on an edge of a nervous breakdown, it just got me every single time. His line deliveries were just perfect. And Martin Short is just the worst. He's worse than Hitler. I think it's just.
There's a comparison in the movie.
There is.
Yeah.
It's just the most chaotic and destructive child ever put on screen. It's great. It's pretty damn funny. It tries to have a message.
Dennis the Menace who?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right?
Did Dennis the Menace fake a bomb threat? I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so.
It tries to have a message, but like at that point, at the end of it, you're just like, I don't care. Like, it's not about that. It's just watching 2 people butt heads for an hour and a half. So
exactly.
It's a pretty damn fun time. I recommend it if you're into stupid comedies, slapstick, and stuff like that.
Man. I can't give it a 3.5 at all. I will give it a 2.5 because I'm gonna go right in the middle. Half of me is like, this movie should never have been made. I don't know how they greenlit it. They're like, Martin Short's big right now, right? Yeah, fuck it, we'll do that. Like, on the other half though, there's some shit in this movie that like was gut-bustingly funny. And I can't deny that. And I can't deny the smiles and the laughter. And if I'm laughing in a comedy movie, then the movie is doing its job. And whether that's a good laugh, a bad laugh, or whatever. So I can't give it more than 2.5 just because of it is like, in my opinion, it is not a good movie. Like, I don't think it is a good movie. I think it's a funny movie, but I don't like I can't say I liked it. And I'm okay with that. Will I buy it? Absolutely. Will I watch it every once in a while, only with people who haven't seen it yet? Absolutely. But never again by myself. I won't go, I'm going to put Clifford on. Never. So I'm strong with my 2.5. It is a definite Blu-ray buy. No matter what, if I find it for fucking $25 in Blu-ray, I'm like, yep, cool, gotta get this. Like, this is the only place. This is the best place this $25 could go. So yeah, I'm 2.5. 2.5.
I will go middle of the road from you two. I'm gonna give it a flat 3 because while it is definitely like, it's so poorly paced. It's like, I was like, oh my god, the scene is still dragging on. That's wild. But there were so many times where I'm like, this is similar to something I would write with how outlandish and just insane some of it gets. Yes. And I'm like, it's just so goofy. It's so like, they're lowbrow, stupid, slapstick. It just gets me. That's a 3, dude. I would recommend this to anyone who hasn't seen it. But you haven't seen Clifford from the '94?
Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
Get your ass on that Marine.
Clifford, bro.
We're not talking about
the big red dog. No, I'm talking about Martin Short the kid.
I'm talking about Martin Short the 10-year-old, dude. Oh my god. We gotta write a sequel to this. We gotta write somehow
Kickstarter
a
sequel.
Yeah. And we have to get Martin Short to at least appear in it.
He has to be yeah.
You know.
It'll be his kid.
It'll be his kid, yeah. As in like 20, it'll be 20, it could be 2030 or 24 or 2020, you know what I mean? Time, because that levels up, that lines up. But he's just going to look really fucking old because he probably looks about the age he did at the end of the movie now. You know what I mean?
Hopefully.
So, hopefully. But, yeah, man.
Well, it was goofy.
I'm glad you guys had enjoyed it.
Yeah, I had fun. I had fun. I will say I had fun watching this movie. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, cool guys. I guess the last film we have is Deadbeat at Dawn. Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom. Nunchucking fucking dudes.
So this is the synopsis. One last job separates the leader of the Ravens gang from an early retirement. When he finds his girlfriend beaten to death by members of a rival gang, he seeks revenge, knowing that he may be dead by dawn. Will more blood bring her back? What do you guys think?
Wow.
Wow.
Good wow? Bad wow?
Oh, man.
It's a bad wow for me. I will be honest.
You're anti-80s, bro. We already know this.
Well, it's not the 80s. Trust me. I like some 80s movies.
Yeah, this is anti-80s. I'm gonna get on that train. Whoa.
This is something, dude. Mm-hmm. It is inspiring, truly, because it goes, wow, I could definitely make something better than this. If I had a little bit of money and some time, I could probably make something better than this, and that makes me feel good about myself. But man, I don't know. Does Jim Van Beber is he like? Does he do fucking karate? Is that his thing?
Because I believe he. I don't know. I mean,
he's only okay at it. Is the thing.
Dude, that goes for everyone in the movie.
The nunchuck skills, I will give him that. I was thinking, I had to go back and I'm like, wait, I was playing video games and watching it at the same time, and I went back and I watched him and I heard the whoosh, 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 whoosh. I'm like, wait, hang on, is that fucking nunchucks? And I went back and he's really fucking, dude, he was going off with these nunchucks, dude. He had the throwing knives and
training in the cemetery.
I'm like, what is Napoleon Dynamite doing right now? Why is he...
Dude, I wanted to... Because, I'll be real, I started it with the mindset that you had, Chase. This is 2.5 hour movie. I'm like...
Yeah, holy shit.
I'm like, I already know what this movie's going to be just by the name and the synopsis.
Mm-hmm. So I'm like, all right. And the length.
And the length. I'm like, dude, I'm booting up Animal Crossing. I'm going to redo my island. And I'm going to just
says an hour 20.
Super loud and watch it.
Tubi says an hour 20, but if you look up the movie on
I didn't
Google,
check that.
You look up on Google.
That's the only timeline
I know. I don't know why. That's strange.
220. I was like, fuck me.
There was no way I was going to be a 2 hour 20-minute movie.
Yeah, so I'm just like collecting Super Mario furniture for Animal Crossing, and I'm watching it, and I just hear this. And I'm like, dude,
nunchucks really got you guys.
What is happening with my speakers? I look over and I'm like, oh, it's nunchuck sound effects. Sure, makes sense.
I love that there's a shot later on in the film of a flashback scene of him his girlfriend coming in and babe, and he's like, get off of me, and he's like, nunchucks. "Get off of me, bitch! I need to practice my fucking nunchucks." And he's like,
dude,
oh my God.
The scene where I don't know why, but there's so many like amateur lines and amateur cuts in this movie. There's a part where she's like, "Danny," and like, of course his name's Danny, but she's like, "Danny, do you love me?" And he's just like, "Huh?" And then she's like, "Said, do you love me? What do you think?"
Yeah, what do you think?
You're so.
Oh yeah, dude, that Danny character. He's like the leader of the Spiders, the rival gang.
Dude,
what a asshole! Like the worst.
There are so many memorable characters in this.
Bone Crusher is my favorite.
Bone Crusher.
I'll save my favorite character till we get to him.
Mm-hmm.
But whoa, dude! On the intro though, like to start timeline wise, the intro, I was kind of into it. There's like a kaleidoscope effect and like all this like interesting cutting going on, and then the movie starts, and I'm like, oh, piss. Not even close,
dude.
That montage, like, I really do dig that montage though. In the beginning, he's like healing like a wound. It's got this kind of janky synth music behind it.
It's got janky,
grimy.
Yeah, I like the first battle, the first gang battle. It feels.
Dude, that reminded me of Gangs of New York.
It feels like
a little bit.
It feels like middle school. It feels like
for sure.
That too.
It felt like, you know, like this doesn't happen, but you know, like in movies and stuff where it's like, oh, here's the middle school like squad versus the popular squad, you know, and it's like they all show up and they've got like, you know, squirt guns and like paintball guns and like fucking slingshots, and they're dressed like fucking middle schoolers. They've got like armor on and shit, like like masks and stuff. And then, but they've got machetes and like wrenches and actual guns and stuff. So I'm like, wait, what is going on?
That scene when they introduce them and they're all like walking up the stairs being tough, and then that terrible music kicks in. I'm like,
oh man,
this is tough.
It was.
I dig that scene. It's like there's like a knife fight. I think it turns into.
Yeah.
And
they're like ricocheting knives off of each other. Like
there's some pretty good like gore effects too. I was a fan of. I think someone's hand gets shot off.
Yeah, exactly. They're on the ground, and it's just like a blood curdling scream.
Yeah,
dude,
fuck your noise.
Fuck your noise. I remember that. Fuck your noise.
The amount of like actual death cry, blood curdling screams. The guy that had to go into the bathroom to like fix himself in that dark room, he's just like screaming bloody murder. I was laughing so hard. I couldn't stop. I was like, pure agony. That's hilarious.
I kept going. I kept just saying, oh my god. Like, Jesus. Why so...
You say that at the...
Why so much? All of it.
The cop?
Any of it.
Dude, what about the cop at the start of the movie that stops the rape? He's like, what are you doing? Just giving the old wife a
giving
kiss.
the old wife a kiss.
And then she walks away, and he like, what? And he walks away, and the cop's just like...
T-poses out of there and like fucking floats down the street.
I gotta tell you guys, I dig this movie a lot.
Did you?
Yeah.
I'm glad you liked it.
Me too.
Because like while it's pretty it's amateur for sure. I think what I've heard is that like he dropped out of college or something, like used his like student loans or something on this film, or some money that's supposed to go to school, like his schooling. He just like used all that for this film, or I believe. I don't know. It's got like some pretty amateur qualities, but I appreciated how grimy and efficient it was. Like,
yeah,
sure, there's some like filler scenes, but like it gets the job done. It's violent. It's a revenge film. The line, like the dialogue and the acting is like exactly what I was hoping for. Like super hammy and just like a character I mentioned, Bone Crusher. He's just like such a bad actor, but the lines that he delivers and like Danny delivers, they're just like perfect for what this movie is.
Which one was Bone Crusher?
Bone Crusher's the one who kills
the girlfriend.
The girlfriend.
And you talk about the snakes.
He's the one that's kind of yeah.
Their intestines were like
the
snakes.
camera work was edgy. The every time that character had to say anything, the camera gets like super dramatic, and they're like, he's gonna deliver the line the way we want it, and he's like, her intestines were like snakes.
Yeah,
they were like snakes.
I gotta tell you, my favorite like piece of dialogue in this film. I think it's before they go kill the girlfriend, and it's him and I forget the other guy's name, but he's talking about like basically the experience of killing someone and seeing like that
their pupils
glimmer in their eyes, yeah. And
this
is what he says after that. He says, "I hate people, man. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about nothing. Man, all my life people have fucked with me. Don't you fuck with me, man. I just fucking hate people. I hate people and I don't care. I just don't fucking care. I don't care. I'm the baddest motherfucker you ever saw, man." And he just like, it's just completely out of nowhere. And it's going on for so much longer than like necessary.
And that was about how he delivered it too.
Oh yeah,
much. A little bit louder. You know, it was just a tad louder.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, dude. Speaking of killing the girlfriend, I had to pause the movie. I got laughing so hard. She dies. The boyfriend comes back. No, and he's like holding her. And I'm like, dude, the way this movie's played out so far, I would not put it past it if he tries to flush her down a toilet right now to, like, dispose of the body. Big surprise.
Basically.
Puts her in a trash compactor, dude. That was... like, listen, Clifford was really funny, but that was the funniest thing I've seen in, like, all month. That was hilarious.
I also like it too. Beforehand, she uses like a Ouija board to like.
Yeah, what the fuck? What was that opening scene when she was talking?
Is Goose gonna die?
Yeah, when she was talking to that old woman.
Am I going to?
Was it like a psychic?
The medium.
Yeah,
it was like a psychic.
What the fuck? Why was that even in here?
She was pretty like she was trying to get the cross on his neck. She was kind of a spiritual.
Hey, I'm not gonna wear this. Dude, speaking of the psychic scene, the psychic scene at the start of the movie, anyone notice the rancid editing? When it ends, she's like, okay, I'm going to leave. She gets up, she walks away, she opens the door, she leaves the room, she closes the door, and then it just sits there. And then it cuts to outside, and she gets attacked by a rapist. I was like,
see,
dude,
with these kind of movies, I kind of care less if the editing's bad. Like, that's kind of what I'm expecting.
Dude,
everything happened really quickly.
Took it
hella quick.
I took it as a good thing, because I'm like, it's such a sense of comedy for me, like, as an editor. Like,
yeah,
there's so many just awfully timed jump cuts. They're just hilarious. Like, we're just some nice intimate moment in the woods. We've got our blanket out here. Nice romantic scene. And then we're just going to cut to a hobo screaming in an alley. I was like...
yeah.
Dude, some of these got me good.
I think a scene that got me pretty good was I think after Goose leaves... What's the girlfriend's name? Christy.
Yeah.
After he gets upset with her trying to put the cross on, he like takes his nunchucks. Like we said, there's that training scene when he goes out into the cemetery, and he just like after he's done, he just like screams into the city. It's like, you motherfuckers! And then he sees like some guy pull up in like a motorcycle. Just a random dude. He goes up to him and just whacks him in the face with a nunchuck and just steals his bike. To like try to impress like his girlfriend. Like, hey, you got a bike? Like, let's go. Like,
yeah,
I think that
it's just some random fucking dude. He just like just gonna rob this dude and like take his bike.
What I find funny too is like the environment. It was filmed in like all these like locations felt like New York or something, like 70s New York.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But like, this is Ohio.
Yeah, that's what I was. I was like,
it.
I thought it was New York. I didn't even put it together that I didn't even think it was Ohio.
Yeah,
I mean,
Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland, man.
It feels like New York.
Yeah, absolutely.
They chose great locations then, because it really feels like a city
absolutely.
more than like New York than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like kind of like a 70s, like, just like, feels like it's placed in the 70s, like early 70s. It's kind of a very interesting vibe.
Yeah,
and like those like kaleidoscope transitions and
dude, those were dope. Those were crazy. Yeah. I was happy it was more than just in the introduction.
Yeah, it happens a few times from what I remember.
We gotta get to my favorite character, because listen, I need to talk about him. Shirtless man, aka the guy's dad.
I was thinking, I knew you were gonna fucking say that. Whew.
The purest essence of comedy in the whole movie. Wow, like, hold on, I took a note. The guy's like behind the door. I got a gun. I really got a gun. You don't want to see my gun? I got a gun. Then he comes out with a baseball bat.
He's like, Dad, it's me.
And then, and it happens again. The guy's like, oh, you gotta give me money. Give me money. I need money. The guy's like, I'm not giving you money. I'm not gonna give you money. I will not give you money. Gets his wallet out. I was like, dude, there's so many scenes like that. But this guy, there's a shot where it's like low angle, looking up, super close, and it's crazy, like post editing.
Oh yeah.
And he's just screaming at him, and then it cuts to like the same thing but normal, and then it just goes back to normal. I was like, dude, what was that?
Yeah, they're like having like a dialogue, and then he's just like, all of a sudden he just breaks, like the editing is just like, he just like zooms in or something, and the editing is super crazy.
Like,
he just starts asking for money again.
An elevated moment where they're like, wow, it's like he's overwhelmed by his presence, and they like tried to step it up. Like, what's happening? Oh,
it's a bit more artful than you're giving it credit for.
There was I don't remember what the line was, but there was some line before he does the heroin in like the bedroom. He said he was going out to get something, and beer, and he's like, "This is much better than beer. This is much better than beer." Like Nirvana.
I thought you were going out to get beer. Oh, this is much better than beer.
This is much better than beer.
The thing that I was struggling with this movie was none of it felt important, really. It all just felt like nonsensical arguing for most of the movie. And it was nothing that was like progressing a plot or a character or a theme or anything. It was just people bickering. And half the time, it wasn't even like, you couldn't even understand what they were saying because they're just talking over each other. And it's like, I understand like if you're going for like arguing or like a broken home or something, but like, I don't think that was executed.
Yeah,
like,
that scene specifically?
Many scenes have people just arguing about like things that are irrelevant to the film or the theme or like what I would assume is the theme or how I was interpreting it. It just, there's so much meaningless bickering between people on topics that aren't even like in the movie in some bits. Like, I know you say you like this movie. Listen, this is some for me, this is like up there. This is almost up there with like Killing Spree.
Yeah, I had to you were gonna say that. No, I don't.
This is
disagree.
a goofy one.
Yeah, and no, like I totally. I think it's very goofy and like not a very well made film. I think maybe I just kind of knew what. I think maybe I just had the benefit of knowing what it might be going into it, like kind of hearing about it and like reading up on it.
I was kind of like the name when it was made and like just like looking at screens of it, I was like, "It's probably gonna be a little low budget indie gang movie," and it definitely was.
Yeah,
but
I don't know why I dug it so much. I think just like the simplicity of it.
Yeah, maybe the tone or something too.
Yeah,
like it definitely has an atmosphere to it.
It does, and like it goes for this like super like corny moments, like some of the dialogue's just like eye roll. But I think like
just a few times, just a few.
I think I just liked the mix of decent, pretty good, like, you know, practical blood effects and gore, the humor, It's got an amateurish quality, but like there's still some like cool stuff going on, especially there's like a scene towards the end. It's after because basically Goose leaves the gang. Later on, the gang leaders find him like, hey, we got a job for you. We want you to help with this heist. And so he gets back in the gang.
Gonna blow his brains out.
There's a cool like cutaway shot to like him. Also, that heist scene, I was wishing that was a bit longer. That was a lot quicker.
That heist scene
was building up to be.
That had me fucking crying, dude. The way they did that cop, they're like the cop. Gets, the cop gets like a fucking throwing star on the back of his neck, and then there's also one where they like snap this dude's head, and it's clearly that he's just wearing his clothes backwards and went like.
Yeah.
I laughed because I'm like I know exactly how they fucking did this. I know exactly how they did this. And same thing with this throwing star. It's like, oh, throw and then whip pan and then reaction with it. And oh, dude. Same thing with the ninja star.
That could almost be charming though.
What was that?
That can almost be charming though when it's like, oh, that's so low quality. I almost like I get that.
Yeah. They do it again towards the end with Bone Crusher. I think, or is it just Bone Crusher? Is that the final fight at the end? The guy who kills his girlfriend, or is that Danny?
Yeah, that is Bone Crusher. I think the one where he's like holding like a big piece of metal or something.
Yeah, and he's like fucking. Yeah, he's like hitting him against the wall with it.
Oh no, you're talking about the final.
The final. Yeah, okay.
Right. Okay.
They looked really similar to me.
They kind of do.
I had a hard time like
Dirty
figuring
blonde.
out who. Yeah, and a mustache, dirty blonde, similar mustache. They talked the same. It was like it's the same character.
Oh, dude, in that like nearly final fight scene when they're in the car, when the girl's just like punching that dude in the dick on repeat, dude.
Yeah,
there was no force behind that, and I was cracking up.
And that was the Christie's sister, right? At the end.
What I was gonna say though, I really liked the setup scene where they're about to like exchange money between the two gangs that they stole from the armored car.
Yeah.
And it becomes like an ambush essentially, and he gets pretty good squib effects and just all out carnage. Yeah. And I think after that point, Goose steals the bag of money.
Yep.
Goes on the run.
Yep.
And then he has a confrontation with a bunch of gang members at the train station. I dig that scene a lot. That was really cool. Even though the geography of that scene was totally jumbled, like where they were didn't make any sense in the next cut. Like it was totally off the wall, but there were some pretty like fun camera movements. The choreography was, wasn't great, but there were some like, running off a wall or, doing a roll. And
that's when he was finally able to use his fucking nunchucks, dude. He was finally, and he was like, with like the dude's neck. I love that we have a 5-minute montage in the beginning of this dude doing crazy fucking ninja moves, and we don't see any of them except for a roundhouse kick to one of the cops in the heist, and then we see him pop off with nunchucks and fucking throwing stars and all that shit. That was
it's like finally.
I was pretty. That was rewarding.
Absolutely,
that was
saved
definitely
the best for
a
last.
finale.
Oh, there's so much I missed. The really stupid moment where it's actually when Goose is on the run, and he goes into like a car repair, like a mechanic.
The lady, the old lady, the grandma. I forgot.
Yeah, there's like this car that's like pulled up to the mechanic. What do you say? Like, give me your gun, grandma. And the grandma just pulls out a gun and gives it to the nephew or whatever. It's just like, of course.
Dude, the close up of her screaming, "Shoot him in the head!" Destroyed.
Yeah,
weak. Oh,
so
that
good.
Was so funny.
There's also a scene I really liked where Goose goes into a cemetery and like has a vision of his girlfriend and like a bloody.
That was
sheet.
Surprising.
Yeah, it was also really fucking and he's like playing with her brain or for some fucking
Danny
reason.
Comes in and like stabs her skull open, like cracks it open.
Yeah.
Super.
And then all the snakes on him in the cemetery. That part was the part where he like wakes up and he's like in the cemetery with the snakes. I thought that was kind of cool. That's kind of a cheeky little edit. He's talking about, because he knows that's what the snakes represent,
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of out of left field. I didn't expect a scene like that.
Yeah.
Same.
And then I got to give a nod to this line of dialogue. I don't remember where it was or why it was there, but it was inside a restaurant. And this guy is like having a meal by himself.
The guy's ordering 2 breakfasts, right?
Yeah. And he's like,
yes.
Go to the kitchen and make some breakfast, you heathen bitch. Because he's like having a meal with Jesus, he says, I believe.
He says God.
And with God, and he's just kind of like, and the waitress is just kind of confused by it. But just that heathen bitch line, just like
bitch.
That was funny. That got me, and
very
also
quickly
his
delivered.
explanation. He's like,
yeah.
You ordered 2 breakfasts. I'm just having 1. Why are you just having 1? I'm not that hungry. You're not that hungry, so you're only gonna eat 1 meal? Good explanation, dude. What the heck?
I'm not that hungry.
Yeah, and then like there's that final scene where Goose is being chased by a car with Danny in it, I think.
Mm.
And I always love those shots where it's like super far back, guys running towards the camera with the car just like looks like super close behind him.
Yeah, those are fun.
A couple of moments like that. I really enjoy those moments, but yeah, that's a pretty good scene where his arm gets like stuck in the window and he's being like dragged through like
dragged down the alley
intersections and stuff. Yeah, super cool.
Dope.
And that final fight scene, I was really enjoying.
Final fight wasn't bad, man. It wasn't that bad. Yeah, I liked the ninja star to the forehead. That was funny. I like the shot where he's like, it's just like,
yeah. And then I think doesn't he kill Danny by Goose kill him by like ripping through his throat? If I remember
rips
right,
his jugular out. Yeah.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, exactly.
Style.
I was surprised he didn't eat
Finish
it.
him.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, he should have eaten it. That would have been brutal.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Fatality.
But I think that was kind of. Yeah, those are just key scenes I remember. I don't know, and that's the end of the movie basically too. Is that fight, that last scene?
I like the kaleidoscope
What do you
transitions.
think of how it ended? They were
How
cool.
do I think?
Yeah.
I actually really like how it ended. It was such a small detail, but I liked those like black and white stills that they threw in of the sister.
It's very abstract.
That was kind of a neat little touch. But yeah, like the younger sister gets the money and he walks away, and that's that. I dig it. It's just a very simple. Killed the rival leader, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, he dies, right? He falls on the sidewalk and dies.
Oh yeah.
And then there's people behind him. Like all I noticed when he hit the ground is that people like behind him like got up, and it looks like they were like just people. They're like, "Hey, do you guys want to be in the background of a movie?" And then then they're like, "Sure." And they're like, "All right, when this guy hits the ground, you need to act all surprised." And they're fucking smiling the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
And so I liked that. I was like, oh, we've all been in those situations before.
Oh yeah. This was kind of a Nick McCann pick, if I'm going to be honest.
It was I would be interested to hear what he would have to say about this.
I told him that he would probably appreciate it. I told him to watch it, but yeah. You guys want to go into ratings?
I guess.
Let's do it.
Start us off, Ryan.
I'm looking at, like, dude, it was, like, I know you liked it. Me personally.
Oh, yeah, go rip it. I don't care.
I'm looking between a 1.5 and a 2. Like,
yeah.
Maybe a 1.5, because, like, there's no way I could ever sit through any amount of this movie again. There's no way. And it just did not connect with me. But I did get some seriously good laughs out of it. But I feel like I can appreciate it for me, I can appreciate it as, like, so bad it's funny. But, like, it slightly falls below that mark, too, for me. And I'm like, so I probably 1.5. It's got some good yucks for that first viewing, though, dude.
Yeah.
I'm in a similar boat. I'm going 2. I thought the nunchuck shit was hilarious. And so out of left field. I mean, not really. The movie hadn't been established quite yet, so it's like all we got was that first fight scene, and then him like bandaged up, and then he's like, I need to go do karate in the cemetery," and so yeah. And the thing is he's actually really good with nunchucks. He just, it's just who would have thought that this movie would end up with someone using nunchucks as a weapon. Right. But I mean, I guess if you watch the movie and you know the movie, you're like, oh, absolutely someone would have fucking nunchucks.
Makes sense.
But not knowing anything about this, I was like, nunchucks? This man's got nunchucks? And I was like laughing about it, and then I looked back, I'm like, what the fuck? He's actually kind of nice. He's kind of nice with the nunchucks. Yeah, that was funny. Some of the effects were funny and goofy. Exactly what I was would want from a movie of this caliber. I'm a big sucker for on-screen blood. A big sucker for, especially if it's like really really saturated red. I'm a fan, and this happened to be like paint, so I was pumped.
Yeah.
But there's really nothing. There's really nothing for me here. I don't think I can recommend this to anyone, and I don't think I would watch it again. But I respect the fact that this dude was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna drop out of school and make a movie." I love that. That's cool. I love it. I'm here for it. So, yeah, 2 star, 2 for me.
Okay. I think I'll have to go with I was thinking like when I finished it like a 4, and I think I might be like low 4, 3.5, probably closer to 4. I don't know. It's just like,
I'm so glad you loved it. I'm so glad you liked it.
It just has a certain tone that I find to be very entertaining, and I just like how it wasn't greatly made, but there's just a lot of elements that I really enjoyed, and it's got some good violence, some good laughs, some really dumb characters, but like when you're dealing with like low budget 80s films, you're gonna expect a bit of hamminess, and this definitely delivers. I think it was successful in what it was trying to do with a gang revenge film. I think Jim did a Jimmy job.
Jimmy Jam.
Jimmy Jam job. What I'm curious though is that they have an Arrow video special edition Blu-ray of this.
Oh man!
And it's got some audio commentary and like archival footage.
Okay, that would be interesting.
Like behind the scenes stuff.
That would be cool.
I'm kind of curious about that.
Yeah. I can tell you, I will not be picking that up. It sounds interesting.
I'm gonna buy it for you.
Man, you're gonna get that regifted for your birthday so fast.
It's gonna be like, when's your birthday again?
That was the trick
that's
all
pretty
along.
soon. Yeah, here you go.
But like I recommend this if you're into like just low budget action, grimy older flicks. Like it has a certain audience, and I recommend it. Not for everyone, but yeah.
I'm so glad you liked it.
Right.
I'm so glad
me
you
too.
enjoyed
I'm
this,
really
dude.
thankful because I was unsure if this would be a good episode. So at least
I like when we don't agree on shit. I like it. I like when we don't agree on things.
Yeah.
It makes it so much more interesting.
That's it for those 2 films, and I think it's question time.
Yeah, we've got a few. We
do. If you're new to this show, we do questions at the end of every episode. Granted that we get questions from the audience. If you're interested in us answering one of your questions, and we will answer it most likely, you can head on over to Instagram, Reviews from the West, and we will just follow us in there, send us a DM, and we'll get to your question.
Yeah.
If you are interested.
If you DM us and you're like, hey, I'm a new follower, love your shit, I will... Well, I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do. You're gonna have to wait to find out.
You might just have to do it.
I just might have to do it. Just send us a DM.
No one's been ballsy enough to do it.
No one has been. Speaking of balls...
Kind of disappointed, too. I made that post about 5 reasons why you should leave us a review on iTunes, and not one person. Damn. A little saddened, but hey,
Man, start reading that quote from the movie that you really like again.
I don't like people, man.
Exactly. Don't fuck me, man. Don't fuck me.
Before questions, I have to make a comment. Last episode, I said we need to review Justice League, the like Zack Snyder super director's cut, ultra mega crazy edition.
Did you change your mind?
I watched the trailer for it. I never want to see this movie in my life.
Really?
Really?
I changed my mind, actually. When I saw the trailer, I was like, I'm actually kind of pumped for this.
What about the trailer?
I saw that trailer, and I was like, I hate this. If this is what anything what the movie's like, I want nothing to do with this.
What did you expect?
Yeah, what about it? What about it?
I have no idea. The song was the tone of the song was just awful.
Was it the Leonard Cohen song? Hallelujah? Was that the one that they used?
I think so.
It was yucky.
Okay.
It was yucky.
And then that with the like cube that's like turning into the heroes. For
I guess you just haven't seen a superhero film for many years.
I don't watch them.
Well, I know that exactly, but like cubes and stuff like that's pretty.
Yeah.
It's all pretty standard stuff at this point.
I'm personally kind of excited. I'm a little more excited. I watched the trailer today, and I'm like, okay, this looks kind of cool. This looks kind of cool, and I don't think that I'm a big superhero guy. I love superhero movies. That's kind of what got me started in this shit. Is like Iron Man. I was like, fuck yeah, Spider-Man. The first Spider-Man movie, it never left my DVD player. I had Spider-Man 1 playing at all times, and I'd watch it every single day after school, and I'd sit right in front, just like this, watching Spider-Man.
I love that.
I'd close my eyes during the Green Goblin scenes because I was fucking scared of it. Like, I fucking love superhero movies. So,
dude, the OG Spider-Man movie was my like I'm homesick day.
Yeah.
If I was homesick, I was watching that and Monsters Inc. Every time. Those are the two movies I watched when I had the flu.
I watched Scooby-Doo, the James Gunn Scooby-Doo a lot. I
watched Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, dude. Zombie Island's the best movie.
Zombie Island is a good one. Cyber Chase I liked a lot because it had my name in it.
Cyber Chase is good, dude.
Is cool. I like that they go through time and shit. That was fun.
See them old selves. That was super cool.
Yeah, exactly. I'm excited for it. I think I will be wanting to do a review for it. So if you want to watch it, and you could just be like, "Wow, I hate this," and I can be like, "I would love that." I would love that.
I will decide because it's like what 3.5, almost 4 hours now.
It is 4 hours, 4 hours and 2 minutes long. I'm watching it.
Take me like a week to watch this.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it in 2 parts. Or I might do it in hour parts because I'm assuming they're gonna have.
There's chapters to.
It's in chapters. It has like 6 chapters, right?
Yeah.
Why didn't they just fucking make it? Why didn't they just go part 1 through 4? Like, why did it have to be one? That's gonna scare people away.
Well, there's probably like a dude. I think people who are gonna watch this aren't scared of the runtime. So many superhero fans want long movies, so this is probably a buffet for them.
I think the scenes that's gonna make this long are gonna be so hard to sit through. Because I mean,
you really think so?
Yeah, because I mean, there's action in the movie, of course, right? But he's not gonna reshoot these crazy big action scenes. He doesn't have the money for it. They're not going to have the money for it.
Oh, dude, they give him so much money, though.
Well, yeah, but they had money to bring back, like, Henry Cavill and shit, who is expensive, and, you know, Ben Affleck and fucking crazy-ass Jared Leto. Like, they had to pay them a bunch of money, and, of course, people got paid, and, like, they had production stuff. But to pay a whole CG team to, like, make a brand-new fight, like a big-ass CG fight, I don't know, man. I think the 4 hours are going to be cut emotional shit, which is cool. I'm all for it, but it's gonna make the movie feel so slow. It's gonna feel slow.
I believe you.
Slow. But
yeah,
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it nonetheless.
You guys want to ask your questions, or do you want me just to ask a few?
I can go. I just have one question. Okay. So this one's tough. One movie that you wish you could change the ending of.
Ooh.
I'll tell you, I really hate the end of 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Artsy fartsy.
I wish the baby talked.
Artsy fartsy.
Oh, I know. It's Dunkirk. It ends on like the two lead soldiers on a train, and they get the report that like Churchill is like stopped the war. I don't know the specifications on how that whole shit ended, but like it's like this quick little wrap up that isn't really necessary, and like only a few minutes before that, they had the opportunity to end it on the most like perfect shot. It's when they're all returning back into town, and it's this shot down the railroad, and all these like silhouettes of the soldiers are just walking down this moonlit railroad track. Just like these, you don't see their faces, you just see these like distraught and destroyed soldiers just going down this railroad track. And if it ended there, perfect ending. But they just had, of course, fucking wrap it up like just this little bow that just was so unnecessary.
It's like, God damn it, you had to end the movie, you bastards.
Right. That's the thing. It's like a traditional ending, but if I don't know, I feel like it didn't need that last bit. So that's what I have.
That's solid. I'll tell you. For me, it's gonna be first movie I thought when I looked at my Blu-rays was First Reformed. Jumped out at me, and
I haven't seen it.
I really like the ending, but I won't spoil it. I really like the ending that it has now, but I wish it did what the movie was building from the very start. That I think would have been awesome. It's a build, and if it just like kept going, I would have been like, "Whoa!" But I love the ending it has too. So
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. My first thing was like, I don't know why, but my first instinct was like, oh, I'm gonna go with movies that I love. I'm like, why the fuck would I do that? Like, why would I want to change something that I think is perfect? So, I have no idea. I honestly don't think I have an answer. That's too much. That's too much pressure.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could go something easy like Toy Story. Like, I wish Woody died.
What's wrong with the toy? Oh.
Oh. You sad little. Oh.
No.
I don't know. I don't know. I can't. You know, I can't say anything.
Here's a handful from my brother.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay. Rapid fire.
Boom.
Your take on Benghazi.
I don't know what that is. Is that a person?
My favorite dish.
Okay. It's a place, Chase.
Oh, okay. I've never met Benghazi.
Dude, it's Italian food. It's the best. It's super spicy.
What are your thoughts? And these are THOT, by the way.
Okay.
THOTS.
My thoughts, okay.
Thoughts on the Myanmar coup. The coup that's happening in Myanmar. What do you guys think about that?
Never heard of it.
You guys.
I prefer marinara sauce, so.
Thoughts on cuckoldry.
Whatever floats your boat. Do your own thing. I don't give a fuck.
If it's consensual.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if it's non-consensual, that's pretty fucked up.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that falls in line with anything. If it's not consensual.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if you're having dinner, whatever. If it's not consensual, whoa. That's actually a really funny premise for, like, anything. Anything like, oh, someone's, like, refilling your gas tank.
I didn't give you permission to do that. I did not give you permission to do that.
Oh, jeez. Thoughts on Jeff Bezos?
He's rich and bald. I'm glad he made Amazon because I'm obsessed with it.
I like Amazon.
He's rich and bald.
Amazon is very convenient, but they're gonna take over every mom and pop business, and they will eat everything up. Like Bezos is the devil of the consumerism world.
Also, Bezos sounds like a spice.
It does.
It does.
Add a little bit of Bezos.
I bet I would like Bezos, dude. I bet it would be a good tea.
It sounds
Bezos
like a good
tea, man.
Bezos tea.
Little Bezos in the morning, get some spice to wake you up.
Little Bezos.
Myanmar.
Yeah,
a little bit of Benghazi.
Yeah, exactly. Drinking with Benghazi.
No, Ghazi's not good in tea. Ghazi is not good in tea.
Do not put that in tea. Thoughts on life after death? Gabe's really coming in with the variety of questions here.
That's called philosophy. I have none.
I think you start over. Honestly, I think the white light you see at the end of the tunnel when you're dying is you entering the world. That's what I think. Yeah. I think your soul moves to a different body.
Are you thinking reincarnation, or are you thinking like another person?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Whatever it is, when we pass through that light, we forget everything, and we are now baby.
You're now baby.
The baby.
We are
Dude,
now.
Let me
baby.
tell you, if it was like reincarnation, and you came back with the knowledge you now have.
Oh fuck, dude.
Dude, world would be a lot better off if you kept your memory.
Dude, I tell you what, I would not be breastfeeding.
Oh, I would be.
I tell you what, I'd definitely be breastfeeding.
Yeah, Martin Short, am I right? Oh. Dude, the question is though, once you get into like reincarnation, then it's like when you say I wouldn't be breastfeeding, like if you were a woman when you came back, or like and had a kid, or like what?
No, I'm thinking like you're a baby and you had your memories and everything like that. You're like, whoa, why can't I walk? And why is this my mom?
Why can't I walk? This is not the mom I remember.
This
doesn't look like out of my face.
Yeah, exactly. Who are you, woman?
I'm hoping that we can hang out in the heavenly gates. I hope we can pass through those gates.
Yeah, like this is the end.
Spend eternity.
Delightful.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Backstreet Boys.
I have no idea the context.
Song.
I mean, have you seen This Is the End?
The movie?
Yeah, with Seth Rogen and
I haven't.
Dude, okay, I know, Ryan, you hate Seth Rogen, right?
A little bit.
This Is the End's pretty good. This Is the End. I might choose that one instead of Zohan. I'm gonna make Ryan sit through another Seth Rogen movie.
Whoa.
Okay. So this one is from King Mellow 15700. That is my friend Dogum from high school. Shout out Dogum.
Nice.
Real one.
Yes, sir.
He asks, do you think directors of today are doing justice to the cinema world or not?
Some.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Yeah. I would say someone like Michael Bay is not. Michael Bay, I hate. I think that
here's the thing, though. Hold on a second. You just started a whole new conversation. So,
that is true.
Michael Bay,
yes,
not good.
Mm-hmm.
Is he not good for cinema by bringing butts into the theater, though?
See, that is true, but
I hate him too, though.
But then now you get the people that are like, "Oh yeah, I watch movies. What's your favorite one? Oh, Transformers 2." You're like, "Oh, I'm a big movie guy." "Oh yeah, what's your favorite movie?" "Oh, I love Transformers Revenge of the Fallen." I'm like, "I will fight you. I will. We will battle in the streets and there will be blood and I will drink it."
But I wonder if this question, like doing justice to the world of cinema, like are they making it? Are they moving forward with cinema?
No.
Are they?
Some of them
is
are.
It positively affecting art in cinema?
Yeah. We're very stagnant.
I think some
of them.
We're very, very stagnant. There's not a lot of new things coming out. Everything is franchise or rehash or inspired by I don't think there is a lot of new stuff that is coming out, but it's not getting the appreciation that it deserves. I'm gonna go with Midsummer. Midsummer is
that's a good one.
It didn't get it. I mean, it's good in like the A24 community, but most people don't know about it.
Yeah.
Unless and that's a fantastic movie that's moving forward, and it's a horror movie that takes place mostly in the sunshine.
I would say that by far the mainstream is not doing anything for cinema. It's not progressing it as a medium. Yeah. It's not taking any steps in any directions. They found the formula they're sticking with. And good example is there's a movie, The Curse of La Llorona, and that was disastrously awful. Terrible film. There was apparently an actually oh my god, I almost said Italian made. There was actually a an actually Hispanic made La Llorona the exact same year, and it's supposedly really, really good.
Yeah.
But no one heard about it because the American one, the big one, was the good one. The one that does not want to change anything. That sucks. Like, that could have been a bigger voice.
Super sucks.
That sucks that kind of stuff is like that.
I remember working at the movie theater. It was only in theaters for 2 weeks. I worked it, and I wasn't selling any tickets. It'd be like La Llorona would be at like an 11 o'clock show, and that's when a lot of the like horror movies do pretty well, like 11 o'clock on a Friday. If La Llorona was the last movie on a Friday night, I'm like, my ass is going home early. This is great. I love that La Llorona's in theaters because I get to go home early because no one was fucking coming to it.
Yeah, I think it depends. I mean, of course, you can like blame studios like the Marvel machine and Disney kind of like having a monopoly over the industry, but there's like, just like with any year, there's a plethora of independent film and directors who are trying new things, directors who are maybe like are heavily inspired by like the old legends and are trying their hand on it and updating it, like, you know, the Safdies, for example, like Uncut Gems. It's got like a very like a chaotic 70s feel, like something I can't put my like, I can't think of exactly, but there's just some directors who are really updating cinema, and like Safdie's, Ari Aster, Eggers, to name like modern day, like new guns. I think those are going to be the guys who are going to save it, and we're always going to have like those franchise films and just the low tiered horror trash. Like I think it's just going to always be that way. But
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it just depends. I don't know. There's always going to be guys who are doing good things for cinema and guys who are just
making money.
Yeah, they're to make money.
Yeah. Which is
Absolutely.
Part of my frustration with Zack Snyder movies is that he's very similar to Michael Bay in he takes on previously established films other than something like Sucker Punch or 300. Those two I'll give exceptions for, because the way that 300 was done perfectly how Frank Miller's comics or graphic novel was done, and it's done perfectly. Sucker Punch, not a very successful movie, but it's super fucking weird and really original, and it tries a bunch of different things, and I think that's awesome. But I mean, he's a money machine guy, you know.
Right, but and the thing with 300 though is that was, if I remember, that's pretty influential. Like,
oh, absolutely.
In terms, like, I mean, it's parodied to like no end.
Yeah.
Like visually, it's like original and strange, and
the slow-mo to the speed ramping got huge after that. Slow-mo to speed up to slow-mo to speed up. That shit, it looks good in pretty much everything that you do. So it's like it's almost a flawless camera move and scene. If you've seen 300, that scene is you're like, this is the coolest shit I've ever fucking seen in my life. And so you're like, you know, but yeah, I don't think that someone like Zack Snyder or any of the you know, Marvel directors are really taking anything to a next level. I think that Ryan Coogler, who did Black Panther and the first Creed movie and Fruitvale Station, I think that he is going to be huge in the next 10 years. And same thing with the Safdie brothers. I think they're going to take the industry by storm in the next 10 years. Specifically the Safdies. I think the Safdies are going to be like, they're going to be like looked at like how Scorsese is. I'm thinking they make some fantastic stuff.
Yeah,
and one of the brothers can act too. That makes it even better. and act really fucking well.
I will say, regarding people that are like the masters and like where cinema was and where it's going, it's uncomfortable to know the age of the great directors.
Yeah.
It doesn't make me feel good.
No.
All the greats are like late 70s, like collectively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like just today, Jean-Luc Godard said he's done making films.
Yeah.
Like after 70 years, one of the people that started French New Wave has said his film career is done and he's retiring. I was like,
yeah,
they're
dude.
all starting to slow down, and that's scary.
Like I'm sure after Killers of the Flower Moon, Scorsese's next film,
Dude,
that's probably it. I mean, I don't want to say that,
honestly,
but that's probably it.
Listen, Scorsese. What's the name of his movie? What is it?
I think it's Killers of the Flower Moon.
Does that not sound like someone's last film?
Yeah, it really
before
does.
the director dies or something.
Yeah.
Like
he's on his deathbed
what it
right now.
sounds like.
That's so fucking terrible. Jesus. That's a great question. That's a fucking fantastic question. We could have an entire video about that question.
Absolutely.
But unfortunately, we can't.
No.
Yeah.
Let's see. I gotta answer this one. Sios, my lovely girlfriend.
What?
She's been asking me this for months.
Okay.
She's been on me about this.
Oh God.
When are y'all gonna review Saw?
Oh, that's right. She asked that all the time. She asks it all the time.
She even like put us all in like a group chat.
Yeah.
I remember
that.
I remember that. Yeah, dude.
Halloween.
What specifically? Like, does she want like the franchise reviewed or what?
Or the first movie.
I think specifically the first one. She's talked about the entire. She bought me the entire franchise because I've only seen like the last one. I think I've only seen Jigsaw in full.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen Saw 1.
Ugh.
I've only seen
No,
3.
Jigsaw was poopy, dude.
3 was the one with
poopy.
Chester Bennington, right?
Was that like Saw 3D or something? The 3D one.
Then I'm thinking of the second one. Whatever it is, he's like fucking glued to a chair, and he has to like rip his skin off of it. I don't fucking know. All the Saw movies are the same.
Yeah,
they're
torture
torture porn movies. I'm down to talk about them whenever, but I think Halloween or next October would be a fantastic time.
Yeah, I think she wants to do that.
The first one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think she wants to do that with. I know she wants to get on here and talk Master of Disguise. That's one of her favorite films.
Ooh.
But
that's definitely one I haven't seen.
Oh, you haven't seen it? Oh boy.
No.
Hopefully we can get her on here to talk about that because that's a good one.
I'm going to be a master of disguise. I'm going to be a master of disguise. Okay. Best butt plug.
You see this skull right here?
Oh,
that's not bad.
There's a butt plug I know. It's like velvety, and it's of Vladimir Putin. And
oh God,
the tagline is something to Putin your butt. I would say that's probably my favorite.
It. That one wins for sure.
That's pretty good.
It's a pretty good look of him too.
Give me the dragon tails, dude.
The dragon tails, those are good.
Reptile, alien,
yeah,
eggs.
Or the ones like fur, the ones with like foxtails at the end of them.
Hell yeah!
I saw one that has a fucking fidget spinner.
What the fuck?
A fidget spinner, dude. Can you imagine?
That's taking it up a notch.
Okay. Do you wipe from front to back, or front and sit or stand?
Wait.
Okay.
Do you standing up?
Do you wipe front to back, or front to back, and sit or stand when you wipe?
Front to back, sit. Gotta be.
Front to back, sit.
Oh yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
Who's out here bipedal just like...
I mean, you gotta bend. You gotta, like, crouch.
I mean, yeah, you gotta lean over.
Like a fucking monkey, you know what I mean? Like a gorilla.
I mean, if you do sit straight, you just gotta, like, go really far back on the toilet and go, like, back to front, but then you're, like,
legs up like this.
And everything up.
Legs up. Can you imagine? You're like, hang on.
That would work really well in a stall where you can like get your feet up on something.
Oh yeah.
Gross. That's the worst place to fucking do it too, in a stall. Barefoot.
Poopy questions.
Yeah, I try to avoid going in the them public restrooms. That's always a dissatisfying moment in my life.
Absolutely.
Okay. Cholula, sriracha, or Tabasco?
Dude. So as of recently, Tabasco, like almost exclusively. I don't know what happened, but it's always Tabasco now.
Okay.
I would say
I'm going Cholula because
oh yeah,
it has the best flavor, I would say.
The green one, dude.
The green one's good. Yeah.
You know, sriracha is kind of the odd one out because that doesn't fit in with most of the foods that Cholula and Tabasco go with.
Exactly. Sriracha can go in anything though, honestly, but it has a distinctive flavor.
Right.
Yeah.
I've never tried out any sort of like Mexican food, or it's just been purely Asian.
Yeah.
I
sometimes put it on
and sriracha.
I actually, my favorite, I'm gonna add one, Valentina.
Oh,
if you've ever had Valentina, it's like a Spanish hot sauce. It's so fucking good, dude. It's so good.
I can't think if I've had that one.
It's pretty good. I had a hot sauce in my room, on my desk a little bit ago, but I don't remember what it was called.
Just a quick sip every once in a while.
Yeah, to clear the sinuses. Okay, and now here's
Just
some film stuff.
Hit.
A movie so bad, but you saw potential in if you could have directed. That's a good one. That's from Final Beat Films. Shout out.
What was it called? Deadbeat at Dawn?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are funny.
You guys are funny. I'm going to say E.T.
Really?
I'm kidding.
Like
I'm kidding.
Fucking guy.
The Tale of Despero. That was a pretty good movie, too. I don't know. Stuart Little. I'm on a mouse trend right now. Ratatouille. Ratatouille's fantastic.
I'm on a mouse trend.
Ratatouille's good. I have a really horrible picture of Ratatouille. All I'll say is the picture is he doesn't put him in his hat, he puts him in his pants.
Oh, man.
This is kind of like a cop-out because there is a good version of it, but I totally could have done the early 2000s Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I totally could have done that better.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think that I could have. I think that I could have done a Star Wars better. I think I could have done.
Which one?
The Rise of Skywalker. I think I could have done it significantly better. I will never get the chance. I have never directed anything in my life, but I think anyone could have done better than what that was. And
I think
anyone
a lot
who's
of people wanted the chance.
Yeah, I agree. I think anyone who's a Star Wars fan would be like, I could have done that better. And they probably could have, to be honest. This is very corporate. Fuck, they didn't like this other one. We got to go real easy on them.
I was going to say, I've always wanted to make like a stoner comedy, just like something really stupid. I was going to pick this film called I've Got 5 on It. It's really bad, but I don't think I could.
Are you scrolling through your letterbox right now?
Yeah, maybe I'll go with I Got 5 on It.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to make something like a really dumb stoner comedy. I've had an idea of my brother have come up with this idea called Weed Nado.
Weed Nado.
A giant tornado made of
weed smoke,
cannabis smoke.
Oh, fuck yeah!
And how that would affect an entire city.
Children and shit. Oh,
and
man.
Basically, like it'd be like these two characters who try and stop the tornado, and I think we came up with an idea of like they have to in the end scene have to get rid of the tornadoes by inhaling the tornado.
Of course, that's how.
And I think they like evaporate or just like transcend after that point. I forget, but like
that sounds fantastic, dude.
Expect that in the next 10, 20 years. So
okay.
Anyway,
I'm waiting.
All right, and then favorite movie sex scene. This is from Josie. Favorite movie sex scene. I can't think. I don't really think of. I don't think of them and go, "This is my favorite one." Oh yes, actually, Team America for sure. The Team America puppet sex scene.
That's a good one.
That's a great one.
Yeah, I don't I don't really have like on roster. Oh yeah, dude's butt look good in this scene. Like it's just not exactly there. But like, I don't know if this is a sex scene. But dude, the opening to Tim and Eric $1 billion movie is up there.
I haven't seen any Tim and Eric, dude, and I think it's probably a damn shame. None of it.
Chase, you got to get on it. You have got to get on it. You're missing out. There's one in this film called Don't Look Now. It's a pretty famous one. It's kind of long, but it's very naturalistic, and it just feels like uncinematic. It just feels like really normal.
Oh, weird.
And
that'd feel weird, actually. I think I'd be uncomfortable with that.
It fits into the story pretty well, from what I remember.
If you say irreversible, you lose. Like, you can't say the sex scene from Irreversible, or you just
haven't seen it, but I can assume.
Blue is the warmest color. Isn't that a? Those got some pretty dope sex scenes in it. Is that the name of the movie?
Yeah, that lesbian film, French film.
What can I say? What can I say? What can I say?
You just need one guy. Hey,
The guy in the theater's like, fuck yeah, this is dope.
Oh, jeez.
All right, last one. Is it wrong for filmmakers to be capitalizing off the Black Lives Matter movement?
I mean, if they're capitalizing on it, in my opinion, if they're capitalizing on it and then not using the money for it, yeah, probably. It makes me feel weird thinking about that. That is exactly what I'm thinking too.
The word capitalizing means bringing in money. So I'm thinking yes. If it's being used in a way to bring power to the movement or bring, a voice to the movement in a way that's appropriate, then hell yeah, I think that's totally fine. Do what you're gonna do, but if you're gonna be making money off of it and not at least donating at least a portion, if not all of it, to the cause, I say don't do it.
Yeah.
How can you say like you support it if like I support it, but I'm with my movie, but I'm not gonna donate?
Exactly.
With it.
I get keeping some of the money because this is your art. You worked hard on this.
People have to get paid.
People got to get paid. I get that, but at least half of it has got to be donated. At least half of it.
Yeah, I think like I can't think of any films that have, besides Defy Bloods, because there's a scene towards the end that is like explicitly on the Black Lives Matter movement, and I'm fine with that because it's Spike Lee. He's an African American filmmaker.
Yep.
I think like I really don't want to see huge studios and corporations make a film on those events.
Absolutely not.
I know Steve McQueen. He did those films. Those films aren't on Black Lives Matter, but I think they tackle very relevant to that movement and to relevant events. Mm-hmm. I would rather much see that than like, this very current thing's happening. Let's make a movie on it.
Yeah.
Because like at the end of the day, they're making money off this thing, and like I don't know. Absolutely. It's a very complex thing.
Yeah.
I would rather just. Who am I to say? I would just say don't touch it.
Yeah, that's probably the best bet to go, is to, because there's always, you're gonna upset someone about it, and this is a very emotional time right now, and we're also in a day and age where if you were to fuck up like this and fuck up bad, it could ruin your career. So if you and to be honest, kind of rightfully so. We're back in the day. Directors, actors, producers, they didn't have the accountability that we're forcing on them now. And and it's showing, and we're weeding out we're weeding out Hollywood. And I think that's fantastic. It sucks that some of the people we like are shitty people, but I don't want to work in an industry where that's acceptable, and I don't want to be looked at where I'm thinking I am accepting this and I'm okay with this, because it's not okay. You don't you don't do this shit and get away with it like you could in the fucking 90s. Like shit, early 2000s you can get away with so much shit, But now it's you can't do that, and I think I think it's good. So definitely, I agree with you 100%, Victor. That it's probably just safe to just not even touch it. I'm changing my mind. Yeah, I'm changing my mind. Just don't do it. Don't do it.
Right on.
Dope. What was the cues?
Dope.
Thank you, everyone, for your questions. We always appreciate it. It's always very nice to know that y'all are listening and interacting.
Always.
Never take it for granted.
Yeah.
So yeah, that wraps it up. Next episode is Chase's picks, and it sounds like you don't have your choices yet. Is that correct?
I think I do, actually.
Oh.
I think I am going to choose Zohan.
Okay.
Yes.
And I'm also choosing Under the Skin.
Ooh. Okay.
Under the Skin. I haven't seen it before, and I hear it's pretty damn good. So I'm excited to see it.
That's
what?
No, just
the combo.
I just love it. The combo, yeah.
Oh, dude, that's gonna be for my whole year. All year, it's gonna be that. If I get a choice, it's gonna be something wacky and then something really like dark.
I'm here for it.
Like I said, one of these times I'm gonna choose Toy Story Saving Private Ryan. It's gonna happen. a double hanker.
I hope we can find a connection between Zohan and Under the Skin, because there was no connections that I could find in Deadbeat and Clifford.
Yeah. I can tell you, if the kid did not become a priest, he would have become the deadbeat at dawn.
Yeah, absolutely.
If he just kept going.
Yeah. Well, shoot. Expect that combo on our next episode. I don't know when that will be happening. We kind of mixed the schedule a bit.
Schedule's a little jambled right now.
Sorry. But yeah, thank you for listening, everyone. If you're on iTunes, scroll down the bottom. Please leave us a review, and it doesn't have to be 5 stars. Be honest, please. We'd rather have you be honest with us.
Please.
Follow us on Instagram. Subscribe to us on BoobTube.
Oh!
And yeah, and yeah. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Bye.